Hi, this is Manju Warrior. The Department of Communications at Madras Christian College, Tambaram is organizing a campaign called 2ACT005. I'm so happy to know that this campaign promotes women's empowerment and safety. I want to wish this campaign and everyone who's working behind it all the very best. Thank you.
Students from Stella have joined us. Elsa, we can start. Elsa, Glenn, we can start the program. People from Stella are joining in.
Guys, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Providing support and encouragement in order to overcome the greatest fears of your life, as well as highlighting out the need of the hour, that is, raising your voice against domestic violence, is what our campaign 2ACT005 Choose Conversation is all about. A very warm good afternoon to one and all gathered here. This is second MA Communication of Madras Christian College hosting 2ACT005 Choose Conversation. A wholehearted and earnest welcome to all who have gathered here. With no minute to spare, let's begin. Prayer should always be our first response to every situation. So I call upon Mr. Jared Jason for the prayer song. Over to you, Jared.
Under your wings, cover me within your mighty hands. When the oceans rise and thunders roll, I will soar with you above the storm. Father, you are king over the flood. I will be still and know you are God. I will be still and know you are God.
Thank you, Jared. Invoking Almighty with Bible verses would be cleansing every minds. So let's also have a prayer to the God Almighty by invoking the Bible verses. I request Miss Sona Manoj to come upon for the prayer. Welcome you, Sona.
Thank you, Elsa. Okay, let's start our campaign with the word of God followed by a prayer. The Bible verse is from Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. Prayer. Our Heavenly Father, thank you for this beautiful day that you've given us, Lord. Help us to keep our gaze upon you, handing you our problems and worries, trusting in your relationship with you, and relying upon your loving promises. Give us the courage to move forward with determination and help us to place the challenges in the coming days and help us in excel everything we do. Bless each and everyone present here and help all our plans succeed, Lord Jesus. In Jesus' matchless name we pray.
Thank you, Sona. So, first of all, it's very, very important to welcome all those who have joined our campaign through our invitation. So, I invite our bright and lovely classmate, Miss Sharon Thomas, for the welcome address. I'm sure with her enchanting welcoming, you all would be quite well ready for the campaign. Over to you, Sharon.
Good afternoon to one and all. We are deeply honored to welcome you all today. Your presence has immensely enhanced our enthusiasm and excitement for our campaign 2ACT005. With great honor and pleasure, I would like to welcome our keynote speaker, Ms. ANITA MARY, social worker and a regional training manager of GFATM project, Karnataka. Thank you, ma'am, for accepting our invitation. A warm welcome to the faculties and the students of Department of Public Relations, Stella Maris College, and the faculties and students of Department of Psychology, Madras Christian College. I'd like to welcome Dr. Vasuprada Srikrishna, HOD in charge, a staff in charge of Public Relations, Dr. Professor Deborah Raj, and a faculty, Dr. ANITA Mary and Professor Dinesh Kumati, Department of Communication, Madras Christian College. I now welcome my batchmates and the students of First MA Communication and the lovely audience present here at the meet and those watching us live on YouTube. You have an enlightening and a wonderful session ahead. Over to you, Elsa.
Thank you so much, Sharon. So yes, that's the welcome we give for you. So what does the usual online meetings be like? Boring? Extremely boring? Yes, I know most of us have attended such meetings. But trust me, our campaign is not just bombarding you with information. It's an infotainment. That is information plus entertainment. So thus, be prepared for a fun learning process ahead. As a kickstart to the whole session of ours, let's have a game session. Don't you guys need a power-packed game session? Guys? Don't you need? I need answers. People.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. Okay, but that is not as vibrant as I guess. So when I say ready, you should say yes, okay? We have two departments out here, the PR department from Stella Maris and the psychology department from Madras Christian College. Let's see who has more energy for this. So when I call upon your department, say yes, okay? All of you unmute and say yes. All ready? Yeah. So PR department of Stella Maris, are you ready for the campaign?
Yes.
Okay. What about psychology department of Madras Christian College?
Yes.
Okay, yes, that's the energy that we need throughout the campaign. So I welcome the most energetic host, Miss Gayatri Nandakumar, for conducting the game session. Stay tuned to it, guys. Over to you, Gayatri.
Okay, am I audible?
Yes, completely.
Okay. So, good afternoon to all of you. So, myself Gayatri. Today, I am leading you to a very interesting infotainment session that is popcorn stories. So, when you think of popcorn, when you suddenly hear the word popcorn, you think of theater, movies. Yes, so that's it. My infotainment show is all about movies, and I'm sure that you all are movie lovers. And I will be giving you some questions and with 3 options, and you will have 10 seconds to answer that. It's a very interesting game. And after seeing the question, raise a hand option and then unmute your mic and say your name and then the answer. Also, answers in the chat box are also welcome. You can type your name and then the answer. So I hope that I'll get a huge participation from both the departments of Stella Maris, PR department of Stella Maris College and from the psychology department of Madras Christian College. So I think after you say the answer, we'll move on to a very interesting reward session for you as well. So let's go on to the game. I'm sure this picture is real. Let's see what it is. 30% of women whose husbands do not drink have experienced spousal violence as well. The Mother and the Child Health and Education Trust, that's a source. And so can you imagine that's a very shocking statistics that is we are hearing. That is 30% of women whose husbands do not drink. Even those percentage of women experience this kind of violence. So you can imagine how much serious the situation is. And thank you, Gayatri. Because of you, we learned a new piece of information. So moving on to the next question, and I need a very vibrant participation as well. So let's see this time. Okay, this is again a very popular movie. Let's see. Who is the director of Surarai Potra? Your time starts now. Option A, Maniratnam. Option B, Anjali Menon. Option C, Sudha Kongara.
Option C, Sudha Kongara.
Okay, so who was that?
Sibicharan from...
Both.
I'm sorry, can you come again?
Sibicharan from...
It's Sibicharan,
so
Gayatri.
both of you.
Sibicharan.
Okay, fine. Sibicharan, okay. The one?
Afia from
name,
Psychology
please.
Department.
Afia.
Fia.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so both of you, let's see if your answers were correct. Yes. That's the right answer. Congrats to both of you. And because of both of you, you're going to learn something. That's a fact reward. So you both got a fact reward, and let's see what that fact is. Domestic violence is one of the most significant human rights violation in the world. So you can imagine the intensity of this issue, how much serious it is. We all know, every day we hear some sort of domestic violence, some sort of dowry that's happening, some sort of all women related issues. But just imagine the seriousness of this issue, because we all are human beings, we all have our rights, and violation to this right. So domestic abuse is kind of violation to our fundamental rights. So this is a very serious issue, and because of both of you, Sibicharan and Anfia, we have learned this new fact. So thank you, both of you. Moving on to the next question. Okay, Talaivi. Talaivi is a biopic film of which politician? The time starts now. Option A, Indira Gandhi, B, Jayalalitha.
Jayalalitha.
Okay, who was that?
Stella Maris.
It's Angeline.
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 Angeline from Stella.
Angeline from Psychology Department, MCC.
Okay, from
One more person from Stella also told the answer, Gayatri.
who was that, ma'am? Can you please tell your name, unmute and tell your name? Okay, Angeline, I'll let's see if Angeline's answer was correct. Yes. That was a very impressive film by Kangana Ranaut from portraying the character of Jayalalitha. So, both Angeline and the other person who answered from Stella Maris, I don't know the name. If you can unmute and tell, it would be really good. So, you both have won a stat reward card, and let's see what that statistic's about. Women of ages 20 to 24 are at the greatest risk of becoming victims of domestic violence. So we all know we are all at that age, 20 to 24, maybe 25, or like around that age only. We are all youngsters. And can you imagine that people of our age are the greatest risk of being exposed to such kind of domestic violence? So it is really important that we ourselves start this campaign, start an initiative from our side, and put an end to all of this. So thanks to Angeline and the other person, because of you guys, we learned a new fact. So moving on to the next question. Again, this is a very familiar movie. In the movie Aruvi, which female actress did the lead role? Aditi Balan, Nayanthara, Ritika Singh. Okay, who said?
Aditi Balan, A.
Okay, who was that? Can you please tell your name?
Gayatri.
Again, Gayatri. Okay, two people said the answers, I think. One is Gayatri and the other one is?
Deekshana from Stella Maris.
Okay, Deekshana from Stella Maris. So, let's see both of you's answers right or not. Yes. That's the right answer. So, congrats. Let's see what is your stat reward. 1/3 of women aged 15 to 49 years have been subjected to some form of physical violence by their partner. And we all know this intimate partner violence. It's kind of very serious issue, and so many we can hear daily so many news of people committing suicide because of that, and being murdered, and also it's a very serious issue. And see the age between 15 to 49, 1/3 of women. So that's really shocking and very serious too. So thanks to both of you. Because of you both, we learned something new. Okay, so again, this is a very familiar movie. Iruthi Sitru is a movie based on which sport?
Boxing. Boxing.
Okay, that's a very quick answer. Who said the answers?
Sameshwari from Stella Maris.
Can you come again?
Sameshwari from Stella Maris.
Sameshwari. Okay. Hello, Sameshwari from Stella Maris. So let's see if your answer is correct. It's exactly correct. Yes, boxing. So you have earned a stat reward. Let's see what it is. More than 54% of women and 51% of men agree that it's justifiable for a husband to beat his wife. And seeing this picture, you can imagine this movie, Arjun Reddy, how much it was celebrated, and later on how much it was criticized for portraying such kind of domestic violence. And people agree that, some percentage of women and men agree that it's justifiable to beat their wife and all. So it's really shocking. So we need to take an action against this. And this campaign is all about that. And the final question. 36 Vaidinile is a remake of which Malayalam movie? Premam, how old are you? Bangalore Days.
How old are you? How old are you?
Okay, I get so many answers again. Please, can you tell me?
Afia from psychology.
Okay, again, Afia. Anybody else?
Rebecca from psychology.
Okay, so let's see. That's the right answer. Very good, you won a stat reward. So that's it. Tamil Nadu police reported approximately 25 calls every day during lockdown period and registered at least 40 such cases. So Tamil Nadu police. So just in Tamil Nadu, they recorded 25 calls every day. That's really serious. Okay. So thanks to both of you for letting us know, everybody know about this information. So with that, we come to an end of this game show, and I'm sure you will all be really excited to see this popcorn stories game session, and we'll move on to some more interesting sessions after this. And I hope you enjoyed this. Signing off, Gayatri, and over to you, Elsa.
Thank you so much, Gayatri. That was really an awesome session that people all were very vibrant. And the name, guys? Campaign's name. You are attending a campaign and you don't know the name. Guys, come up. What is the name?
Cycle of abuse, preventing and responding to domestic violence.
No. I was asking the PR campaign's name. What is the name?
The session's title is right. If you can come up with the campaign's name, that is what we are looking for.
Yeah.
Cycle
having
of
a logo.
abuse.
Yeah. No. Okay, that's fine. We'll go to it. It's 2ACT005. Okay. Our campaign's name is 2ACT005. And we named the campaign like this in reference to the act passed in 2005, which named Protection of Women from Domestic Violence. So yes, what's the tagline? The tagline is choose conversation. It's obvious why did we choose that tagline. It aims to make aware people that raising voice is quite important. Guys, raising voice is very important in domestic violence. So why this subject at this hour of life? Because of lockdown. Knowing that many women were trapped inside their homes during the pandemic, being victims of violence, not knowing how to react was an eye-opener for all of us. So we took an initiative in order to help those women in distress. And that's how we ended up in this campaign. So guys, as this being an online platform, there are some very, very small instructions you need to follow all through the campaign. First, keep your microphones off. Never unmute unless you are asked to. And second, in between the campaign, there would be Google polls provided for you to vote. That is an interesting session, Google polls. So kindly vote whenever it pops up in your screen. You can vote by clicking on the rightmost corner button of your screen. which is in a shape of triangle, rectangle, and a circle, and that's called the activities tab. So there you can actually vote for the poll that pops up. And third, in the end of the session, there will be a question answer feedback session. Try to ask the questions and also give us feedback either by unmuting or putting it on the chat box. So that's it. That's all the 3 instructions. As I had bombarded you with a lot many information, I know it was quite boring. So I need some entertainment. Even I need some entertainment. I know you guys also need some entertainment. So let's hear some music to refresh ourselves. This is the official music video of our campaign 2ACT005 Choose Conversation, for which we students have brought the lyrics, composed, sang it, and even acted on it. So why waiting? Let's go to the music video. On to you, production team.
தேவதையே நீ ஏன் தேங்குகிறாய் வலிகள் தேவையில்லை வாணி வெளியிலே காரிகையே நீ ஏன் வாடுகிறாய் காயங்கள் தேவையில்லை வாணி வெளியிலே உடை தெரியும் வேலியை விதைத்திடும் பாதையை காலையிலே நீ இங்கு மேலோங்கும் அதிகாரத்தை உடை தெரியும் வேலியை விதைத்திடும் பாதையை காலையிலே நீ இங்கு மேலோங்கும் அதிகாரத்தை உடையாதே பெண்ணினமே திரையழுது உன்னிடமே பேச நினைத்தால் மட்டுமே உடையாதே பெண்ணினமே திரையழுது உன்னிடமே பேச நினைத்தால் மட்டுமே வாழ்க்கை மாறுதே உடையாதே பெண்ணினமே பிழையேது உன்னிடமே பேச நினைத்தால் மட்டுமே வாழ்க்கை மாறுதே.
So yes, guys, that was our official music video. I hope you all enjoyed it. So next is actually a session where helpline numbers and the hand signals will be provided to you, and know how to lend a helping hand to others who are in distress, who are in domestic violence, who are victims of it. So it's important to be very responsible. Shreya?
All right, guys, Elsa, I will take over.
Okay, Jessica, thank you.
Yes.
So guys, it's important to know the helpline numbers and the acts involved in the Domestic Violence Act. Can you move on to the next slide? So we have the Protection of Women from the Domestic Violence Act of 2005. Domestic violence does not only apply to physical violence. The physical, sexual, verbal, emotional, and even economic abuse comes under this act. And this act, even though it is specified for women, it is not only applicable for women. It is also applicable for children and even men who are subjected to domestic violence. And the next slide, please. All right, so we have 3 helpline numbers. One is the 1091, which is the national helpline number for women in distress. And we have a helpline number 181, which is specific to domestic abuse helpline number for Tamil Nadu. And there is 1098, which is the national helpline number for children in distress. So even women subjected to or children subjected to domestic violence can also opt for 181. The next slide, please. All right, so I'm sure many of you would have seen this symbol. It has went viral on social media. So this is the symbol for violence at home. This was put forth by the Canadian Women's Foundation. And so basically you have to open your palm, tuck your thumb in and close your palm. So this is the signal for help at home. And anybody subjected to domestic violence can actually tell their trusted members this sign, and they could, this is a hand signal, and they could seek for help. So these are the 3 main helpline strategy that you guys need to know about. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Jessica. Yes, so that was how we can actually seek help when we needed it. So I need someone to give me an answer for that question. What was the Tamil Nadu helpline number, guys?
181.
181. Yes. What is your name?
Gauri.
Gauri, yes. Gauri from Psychology Department.
Stella Maris College.
Stella Maris. Okay. Yeah, that was nice. Yeah, you are having, I was like checking your concentration. So yes, you are all with us, right? Yeah. So the polls has been updated, the Google polls. So just check in the last rightmost corner button so that you can actually vote for the polls. Guys, participate in the polls even if you don't know the answer, because failures are the stepping stones to success. Yes. So let's see what young people have to say upon the issue. We just conducted a Vox Pop within our campus to know what's their viewpoints on domestic violence and toxic relationships. Let's have a look at the Vox Pop video. Over to you, production team.
கண்டிப்பா, ஏன்னா ஒரு எப்படி சொல்றது, நாங்க லைக் மென்னா இருந்தாலும் சரி விமனா இருந்தாலும் சரி வீட்டில் இருக்கும்போது சேஃபாக தான் இருப்பாங்க.
எஸ், லைக் இட்ஸ் 50-50. லைக் அவங்க எல்லாருமே லைக் அதான் மென்ஸோட இன்டர்வியூ நான் பார்த்தேன். பட் they were saying like women are safe in their home, but that's not completely true.
They are not safe actually. There are many incidents going on even here in local places and as well as in overall India. So I think they are not that safe.
I think not, because we can always expect somebody knocking at our door and it could be anyone.
டொமஸ்டிக் வயலன்ஸ் தமிழில் கொஞ்சம் அடிக்கும். டொமஸ்டிக் வயலன்ஸ் வந்து இப்போ எல்லா இடத்துலையும் இப்போ இருக்காது. கொரோனா டைமில் அதிகமாக வந்து செய்திகள் பார்க்கலாம்.
பெருசாக அந்த அளவுக்கு சொல்லுவேன், அவங்க கல்யாணம் ஆனே கணவர் கட்சியே அவங்க சேஃப்டி இல்லாமல் தான் நிலைமை தான் இருக்குது. ஏன்னா ஒரு சில வீட்டில் ரொம்ப குடிக்கிறவங்க இருப்பாங்க. இந்த மாதிரி நிறைய ரீசன்னால வீட்டில் சேஃப்டி இல்லாமல் தான் இருக்காங்க.
ஐ மீன் 90% ஓகே, பட் நிறைய அப்யூசஸ் வந்து ரிலேட்டிவ்ஸால கூட நடக்குது. லைக் நிறைய அப்யூஸ் நான் கேள்விப்பட்டுட்டேன். லைக் நமக்கு தெரியாது, உண்மையிலே மனசு விட்டு சொல்ல மாட்டாங்க, எல்லாரும் மனசுக்குள்ளே வச்சுக்குவாங்க. ஏன்னா நான் இது வரைக்கும் என்னோட க்ளோஸ் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் கூட நடந்திருக்கு, ஆனால் எனக்கு தெரியாது. டீப்பாக அவங்க கிட்ட பேச தான் ஒரு விஷயமா வெளியில வருது. ஆனால் அந்த விஷயம் என்ன உங்க பேரண்ட்ஸ்க்கும் தெரியாது. ஸோ நிறைய பேர் பார்த்துட்டேன்.
Absolutely not. It's a society. We live together, so it's everyone's responsibility to keep everyone safe. Women can take care of men, men can take care of women. It goes both ways.
Personally, like I wish to like help women if they're in a danger.
No, it's not just a women's issue. It includes even the men as well as the whole society. No, it's not. Not only women, but everyone.
இல்லை அது தவறானது தான். ஆனால் நான் என்ன வச்சு சொன்னாலே பல நேரங்களில் அதை கட்டுப்படுத்துறது கஷ்டமாக தான். ஏன்னா எனக்கு சொசைட்டி இதாக கொடுத்துருக்கு. ஸோ அது வந்து வெளியில் வர்றது கொஞ்சம் கஷ்டமாக தான் இருக்குது. அது மாற்ற முயற்சி பண்ணிக்கிட்டு இருக்கேன். அது தவறான விஷயம்.
பெண்ணுன்றது மட்டும் இல்லை, யாரையுமே அடிக்கக்கூடாது கோவத்தில். அது பக்குவம் வர்றது கஷ்டம்தான். பக்குவம் அவ்வளோ சீக்கிரம் வந்துடாது.
கண்டிப்பாக நான் போய் ஹெல்ப் பண்ணுவேன். இப்போ வந்து ஒரு 3 பேரை வந்து ஒரு மேன் அட்டாக் பண்ணுறாங்கன்னு போது நான் போய் அவளுக்கு ப்ரொடெக்ட் பண்ணாதான் பார்ப்பேன் தவிர போய் வேடிக்கை பார்க்க மாட்டேன்.
என்னை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் I don't think that I am so confident to speak out. That's not my type. But I'll try my best to make her feel comfortable.
I am physically strong and I can manage the situation. So I think I'll handle. But for others, yes.
இல்லை பண்ணி ஆகணும், வேறு வழியில். அந்த சுச்சுவேஷனில் முடியும். இப்போ எப்படி சொல்கிறது, முடிஞ்ச வரைக்கும் அதுக்கு முயற்சி பண்ணுறது தான் இங்கே தேவையாக இருக்குது. அதுவும் பண்ணுறோம். சில இடங்களில் முடியலை.
சொசைட்டின்றதை விடடா நான் என்ன யோசிக்கிறேன்னா, வீட்டில் அதான் சொல்கிறேன், வீட்லேயே முதல்ல இப்போ ஏதாவது ஒரு சின்ன விஷயம் நடந்தாலும் தன்னோட அம்மா அப்பா கிட்ட தைரியமாக சொல்லக்கூடிய ஒரு நிலைமை வந்ததுனாலே சொசைட்டி மேலே. சொசைட்டி யார்? நம்ம தானே.
இங்கே சட்டம்ன்றத அதை தாண்டி நம்மளுக்கு கல்ச்சுரலாகவே இப்போ நான் இருக்கேன். எனக்கு இந்த சொசைட்டியே ஒரு ப்ரிவிலேஜை கொடுக்குதுல்ல, அதை குறைக்கிறதுக்கு என்ன வழி பண்ண முடியுமோ அது பண்ணால் மட்டும்தான் இது கொஞ்சம் பெட்டராகும். இப்போ நான் ஒரு 20-25 வயசில் இது தெரிஞ்சுக்கிறேன் அப்படின்னா இது எனக்கு ஒரு 10 வயசுக்குள்ளே எனக்கு சொல்லி கொடுத்துணும்.
எஜுகேட்டட் எல்லாரும் வந்து லைக் நாகரீகம் உள்ளவர்கள்னு கிடையாது. எஜுகேட்டடாக இருக்கிறவங்களே தப்பு பண்ணுறவங்க தான் அதிகம். ஸோ அவேர்னஸ் கிரியேட் பண்ணணும். அதாவது ஒரு பொண்ணுக்குள்ளே ஒரு பொண்ணு வந்து ஒரு விஷயத்த சொல்ல மாட்டேங்கிறாங்கன்னா ஏன்? பொண்ணுக்குள்ளே இப்போ பொண்ணு ஒருத்தர் நம்பிக்க மாட்டேங்கிறாங்க இல்லையா? ஸோ சொன்னா வெளியில சொல்லிடுவாளோ, அது மாதிரி ஒரு நம்பிக்கை முதல்ல வரணும் சொல்றதுக்கு. அப்படிதான் வெளியில கொண்டு வரணும்.
So yes, so that's what our Workspop video was like. So now it's the most important part of the campaign, the session delivered by the keynote speaker. So today we have Dr. ANITA MARY, a development professional with doctorate in social work, with us as the keynote speaker. Talking about Dr. ANITA MARY ma'am, she has worked with TIS, NIMHANS, ARDSI and Praxis, and is presently working at Swami Vivekananda Youth Movement as a regional training manager for the state of Karnataka in GFATM project. I honestly believe she is one of the best speakers we could get for you guys due to her immense experience in the field. It's an honor for me to welcome you, ma'am, for giving out a very fruitful insight on the topic. Welcome, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everybody. Can you all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you, Miss Elsa, for that introduction of me. I don't have much experience at all to stay, because domestic violence is something that was thrust upon me yesterday when Dr. Sylvia Daisy called me. But I'm also immensely happy to be here among the young minds in the psychology and the communication fields. It's been, it's almost 6 years that I have moved away from the academic side, and to be among the students, it's such a joy, and it's always a two-way learning process that I have experienced during my teaching years back. So hi everybody, hope all of you are doing good. Doing well in this pandemic situation, as we are slowly recovering from all the waves of the coronavirus. I hope all of you had your lunch. Okay, I can see some smiling faces. Those who are on my screen are smiling, so I'm taking it as an affirmative yes. All right. So to begin with, I want to first congratulate the organizers for this wonderful campaign on domestic violence, trying to formulate strategies, which is very much the need of the hour. And I also would like to remember and thank Dr. Sylvia Daisy, who was my peer during my MSW in Stella Maris College. So it's always a pleasure to connect with the Stella Maris students who are here and also the MCC students who are our neighbors from Tambaram. So hi everybody once again. So when the topic was sent to me by Deborah yesterday, cycle of abuse, the culture of pretense, I was like thinking about what should I be talking to the students, because when I logged in like 5 minutes during the video stories of you understanding what is domestic violence and what I as an individual could be doing. So I think almost all of you have very good awareness about what is domestic violence. So I'm not going to talk about what is domestic violence, but I'm trying to more speak about the culture of pretense. And in my limited vocabulary, I didn't understand the word pretense. So I was like trying to Google what what do you say this? Google, you all millennials type, no? If you want to find something. So the support pillar. So I was trying to Google pretense, and I had some idea maybe pretense comes from the word pretend. It's like a make believe. Yeah, it's a very sad word in the context of domestic violence, because for many, many years, or in fact centuries, there has been a make believe that both the sexes, I'm going to use the word sex and gender, but in contextually, I hope you all know the difference between sex and gender. Okay, so we have been living in a culture or a society where we have been taught that both of us are having equal importance and both of us have the equal say. But unfortunately, that is not to be. And when we look at the word pretense, we are all pretending that everything is all right. 10 days back, I like to tell stories, okay? I know it's a keynote address, but I will always love to say a story. 10 days back, I was traveling in a four-wheeler. Okay, four-wheeler is a car, all of you know that, right? And Bangalore is notorious for its traffic, if you have visited Bangalore. And there are umpteen number of signals before you and the destination that you want to reach. And in the ever so good road conditions. So when we were at a particular signal, a two-wheeler drew up near my window side, okay? And there was a man and women in the bike. I couldn't identify whether they were married because I couldn't see any sindoor on the women's head or a thali or a toe ring. So I'm just going to safely say that they were a couple. And they were in the process of arguing. And the man was saying some very strong words in Kannada. Fortunately, my Kannada is not that good, so I couldn't understand what he was saying. But it seemed to be very hurtful to the lady because she also responded to him in a very similar manner. And for that 120 seconds, till the signal turned green, there was a huge exchange of words between the man and the women on the bike. And towards the end of like that 120 seconds of the signal, the man said something so strong and he got on from his bike and they moved to the other side of the road. Now this scenario, all of us would have thought, it's a couple fighting. It is normal. So I would like to draw upon our own experiences. I'm almost sure that 99% of here, I'm not going to ask whether you did it, or you have experience. 99% of us who are here at any point in our life would have witnessed or would have been in a space, be it home, be it in a work, be it in our education environment, would have witnessed a violence. Unfortunately, we all took it for normal because we have been conditioned. Our Indian society is a conditioned society where it seems to say like, it's okay if a man and women are fighting, husband and wife, it's normal to fight. No, what is there to go and intervene? But remember the space in which they were which the whole heated argument and the conversation were taking place. In the middle of a traffic signal. Here I'm not saying the man was right or the woman was at wrong. Here the perpetrator was a man or the victim was a woman. I'm just saying a conversation which was not supposed to be happening in a place which should be happening. Now, we all talk about violence. Violence is in different forms. I don't know how many of you have read the Domestic Violence Act, but fortunately for me, because of this session, I was going through the Domestic Violence Act. And the Domestic Violence Act says that violence can even be when you're not giving money. Financially, you're denying somebody. Between a couple, if you're denying money, it is domestic violence. So we need to have an understanding. What are the different spaces around us that violence happens, especially domestic violence? Is it verbal? Is it emotional? Is it physical? Is it financial? So this understanding is what will help us to go to the realization that we need to do something. Because many a times, even when our parents are in a fight, in a conflict, we tend to take it as normal. Now, I'm very well aware of the fact that I have psychology students in front of me. So I'm going to give a small theorist name here. Have you all heard about Bowen? Some of you would have heard about Bowen. Now, Bowen's family systems theory, he talks about how families carry the hurt, the trauma from one generation to another generation. Now, that is why this topic, this campaign, the cycle of abuse. Now, if you want to break the cycle of abuse, which has been transmitted from one generation to the next generation, like, for example, from my grandmother has faced abuse in the home with my grandfather. Now, that has been transmitted to my mother. That has been transmitted to me. Now, I have been modeling my parents, and I feel now they had a happy relationship, even though they were fighting. Now it is okay if somebody, I'm saying both for the male and the female. Now it's okay for me to model that behavior. The modeling the behavior could be, I am the perpetrator. Modeling the behavior could be, I am also the victim. So this realization that the modeling of behavior has been going on for generations has a ripple effect on the society. Now, I think it was the last girl in the video, she said, why we are the society. Exactly, we are the society. Now, if I don't say no to my self-esteem, then who is going to stand up for me? So having said that, now, this whole discussion and this whole online forum is very important for us to develop strategies and initiatives for which we have to work, and we have to end this cycle of violence that our society is facing. Now, a little theory. I know all of you would appreciate theory as students. I'm hoping so. So it's a serious crime. And it hurts the society. I'm using the word hurt. I'm not using the word it affects. I'm using the word it hurts. hurt means there is a trauma. Trauma leaves a scar, and the scar needs healing. It is unforgivable. Domestic violence is unforgivable, and it is very deadly. When I say deadly, because children get affected a lot because of the domestic violence. We have a wonderful law. So what we can do? Is there something that India has done? And all of you know we have the Domestic Violence Act 2005. There has been a lot of training. There have been a lot of technical assistance that has been given because of this act. And from the development sector, when I say the development sector, I'm talking about the NGOs, the private sector organizations. They have formed partnerships in trying to expand the prevention and intervention services. We are talking about prevention, that is one, and we are also talking about intervention because it's a dual aspect that we have to see here. Prevention, not anymore should be affected with domestic violence. Intervention, for those who have already been victims of domestic violence, what needs to be done. So the role of the campaign, I'm presuming, would be twofold: prevention and intervention. Now, I'm going to talk about the approaches only of what could be done in terms of domestic violence. This draws upon from my working in the public health sector because I have been working with, especially in the HIV/AIDS context. So HIV/AIDS is a public health matter. And drawing from that, I'm going to talk about 4 approaches that I'm hopeful that could be used in trying to understand the whole scenario of domestic violence in the Indian scenario. The first one, using self-esteem as a violence prevention strategy. If you see, violence is a systemic way of happening in the society. Systems theory. There are a lot of systems that surround an individual. Like we have the family system, we have the community, we have the school, we have the peers, we have the friends and all that. If you see the systems, each of these systems are having violent responses to an individual. Now, how does self-esteem enhance as a making self-esteem as a prevention strategy? If I feel good about myself, I will not give the power to another person to hurt me. Now, most of you would be in the, I'm not going to use the term all of you. Okay, I'm going to use the term, most of you would be Instagram followers, FB followers. No, FB is old generation social networking. And Instagram is a new social networking. Is that what I keep hearing? Okay, right. So there are a lot of these posts that talk about narcissism. Then there are a lot of these posts that talk about self-love. Now, leaving narcissism apart, narcissism is a person who loves so much, and you all know the story of all that, who looked into the thing, and then self-love and all that. I'm not going to go into that. But the other part of self-love, now self-love, I respect myself. Now love is about I'm respecting myself, that I do not allow the other person to disrespect myself. So this happens only when I develop a good sense of self-esteem. I feel worthy of myself. Not worthy because of my looks, not worthy because I have a good financial background, my parental support, not because of that. I'm worthy because of whom I am, with my shortcomings, and also I'm not a person who is perfect. I'm imperfect and I'm perfectly fine with that. So this sense of self-esteem only will allow a person to prevent in a couple relationship. Now, couples, I'm using the word couple because you all know that now we are living in a society where we also have LGBTIs, right? We have lesbian couples, we have gay couples. Lesbian couples are females who like females, okay? And the gay couples are male couples who like males. And then we have bisexuals who are like both males and females. And also we have pansexuals who are like, they like all different types of gender orientation and gender preferences and gender likings, okay? And there are also asexuals who don't take on any gender or sexual preferences, right? So when couple could be anybody, it's not only heterosexual couples I'm talking about. All right. So in a couple relationship, if one person's self-esteem is high, I'm going to use the word high, I'm not supposed to use the word high, but high, the person automatically prevents the abuse or the violence and says, no, I will stand up for myself. Now, how do we make that person to realize that self-esteem is the question that you will all ask. So educational preparedness, not only education learning, but character education learning. So when I say character education learning, it starts right at the school level. So that is one intervention for you all. So start at the school level where both the boys and the girls, that is both males and the females, know that it is not okay to say a wrong word. It is not okay to hit somebody, to pinch somebody, to pull somebody's hair. That starts right from the school environment, the school systems. So character education. So building self-esteem right at a young age. Okay, that is one intervention that we have to look into. Then, gender equality, my famous topic. Now, when we say gender equality, what is gender equality? I don't know what is your understanding, because this is not an interactional session. So this is a keynote speech. So I'm like going to go with my own perception of what is gender equality. I don't know if you, during the Q&A, you can always ask me, ma'am, is this what gender equality means? Badra Ranjit is trying to say something. Okay. Right. So gender equality is more to do with empowerment of an individual. When I say an individual, it is not only a female, it is both male and female here we are talking about. So, Elsa, you have to just tell me when my time is up, because I can keep on going on talking like that. Okay. Yeah. How many more minutes do I have?
Ma'am, actually, you have completed the time, but still, you can move on for like 5 minutes more, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Elsa. So when we say about gender equality, we are talking about both the man and the women having equal space to say their opinions, to be who they are, and to have very good interactional and communicational patterns between them. So this gender equality, in other terms, is empowerment. Now, I'm not a feminist. I'm not talking about feminism. That's so totally a different thing. I'm talking about empowerment. Now, empowerment is not revenge. Somebody hurt me, so I'm trying to take revenge on that person. No, that is not empowerment. Many divorce cases have been in family courts because of thinking I'm empowered, so let me go and take revenge on my partner. No, that is not empowerment. And also we have seen cases of domestic violence law being misused sometimes to their own benefit. We have to be very careful of how we use the law in our hands. Law can be a tool for empowerment, and it can also be a tool to create more harm. So this sensitization is what needs to be ingrained in all our minds. Whether you are a boy, you are a girl, or you are transgender, it doesn't matter. This is what I am. I need to say in that moment. So creating character education and having gender equality. So when I say gender equality, there is something more called gender construct that all of us have been growing up with. This gender construct says boys means blue, girls means pink. I'm giving only one basic simple example. And there is a hospital in I don't know whether that hospital is in Chennai, in Bangalore. It's a maternity hospital. I don't want to say the name. When a boy baby is born, they will decorate that vehicle, whether it's a two-wheeler or vehicle of the parents, to be blue balloons and all that. And they will decorate, if it's a female, they will decorate it as a pink balloons and all that. It's a girl, it's a boy, and blue and pink. Rubbish. It can be pink, it can be yellow, it can be green. A life is born. That's what matters. Why do we need? So this type of gender construct right now also is happening. So that we need to address right from the child is born. Okay. A man should be the earner, a woman should be at home. So all these provider, receiver, all these types of different general constructs. I can go on talking about general constructs, but I'm going to stop here. It has to be addressed. And as students, I wish you all the best that this campaign reaches and gives a lot of insight to people, and that they come out of the traps that they are living in, the trap of love. Love will not hurt. And since you are all in the period of trying to understand relationships, love does not hurt. If your partner is abusing you, or if partner is in any form of giving you any what to say, any Tondaravu. What is the word for Tondaravu in English? I forgot.
Trouble, ma'am.
Trouble. Yeah, trouble. You have to see it in the context of whether it is good for your self-esteem and whether I'm allowing this. So having said that, I'm wishing you all the very best, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to address all of you. Thank you so much, Elsa and Deborah.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. This is Deborah here, the staff in charge. Thank you so much for being with us here today. The session was truly insightful. I'm sure the students of Madras Christian College, Stella Maris, have learned a lot from the experiences, the stories that you told us today. So thank you so much for being with us, ma'am. If students have any questions, you can put it in the chat box. While students are putting it in the chat box, we can go ahead with the next program. Meanwhile, let the questions, if there are any doubts that you would like to get clarified with our keynote speaker, you are most welcome to do so. Meanwhile, simultaneously, we will go on to the screening of the videos and the other programs as well. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. ANITA MARY ma'am. It was really an interesting session. We were actually looking forward to an informative session, but you were actually making it playful with stories and all the stuff. It was really interesting. Thank you for also putting in light into the fact that we also are normalizing violence in many instances, giving it a title that it's just couple fights. So that was really an insightful thing to be heard. And yes, so you guys can actually put up questions on the chat box if you have any doubts to be cleared. So meanwhile, this is time for a quick introduction into what is good and bad in relationships. Let's move into an infographic video on the subject. Over to you, production team.
Let's have a quick educational session. What is a healthy relationship? Does it equate to being physically healthy? Does it mean cooking healthy meals? No. A healthy relationship is made up of trust, loyalty, understanding, honesty, and respect. And what is consent? When someone says no, it means that they are not consenting to whatever is happening. And what are some of the other ways that one can say no? They can say maybe, they can say I don't know, they can say I'm not sure, or they might not have a response. But all of these mean no. And moving on to respect. We have often heard that when we respect others, they will respect us back. Respect is shown in the way we treat others and in our actions towards them. Respect also builds the basis of a good and healthy relationship. And that is our snippet of understanding for the day.
Yes, so very importantly, the one thing that we have to know is consent. Consent is not just saying no, it can be maybe, I don't know, not sure, even that silence. So don't take anything other than definitively yes as yes. Okay. Yes. So meanwhile, we will have the answers to the polls shortly in the chat box. So please have a look whether your answers were right or wrong. And if you were wrong, just clear yourself out and go from our campaign with that in your head. Yeah. So let's now, we will go to the celebrities word on our campaign. We will go to our celebrity video bite. Please play the video, production team.
Hi, this is Manju Warrior. The Department of Communications at Madras Christian College, Tambaram is organizing a campaign called 2ACT005. I'm so happy to know that this campaign promotes women's empowerment and safety. I want to wish this campaign and everyone who's working behind it all the very best. Thank you.
Yes, that is our very renowned Malayalam actress Manju Warrior giving us a word on our campaign. So now there will be also the feedback form circulated in the chat box. You can click on the link and give us a feedback on the session. So yeah, it's very sad, I know, but we have reached to an end. So I hope that it was a very energetic campaign and
So,
that
Elsa,
energy. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
can I answer the questions in the chat or
Yes,
how do we?
sure, ma'am. Yeah,
Or you want
can
me
go
to
ahead.
say it verbally?
You can go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, right. So Elsa, you have asked a question on this. What is your question? Is about how do we make people understand that verbal abuse is as traumatic as physical abuse? So during a conversation, that's a very good question. During a conversation, if any word between you and the other person, if you don't feel comfortable, if you don't feel right, and you feel that this should not have been said by the other person in the conversation, you immediately communicate that thing. No, I was not comfortable with what you said, and I'm hurt. So your communication should be direct, and it should not be beating about the bush. You're not trying to hurt the other person by saying no, you should not have said that word. So you as an individual should communicate it directly and make the other person realize that this word affected you and hurted you. Okay, so that is one thing. And another question was, couples aside, what is your take on the kind of domestic abuse that is existent between parents and children? So this is clearly a case of child abuse. So you all here, when we say abuse, again, abuse with among children can be physical, sexual, emotional, and neglect. And you all know there is again a law, POCSO law, and if the child is facing any sort of sexual abuse, it has to be intervened. The child has to be removed from that traumatic environment. And there are a lot now in Tamil Nadu. There is a child care forum by Professor Andrew Soseraj. Have you all heard of in Loyola College? So he is doing wonderful work for this. So you have to ensure that the child's safety is first. Remove the child from that environment. Okay, it is not domestic violence, it is child abuse. Okay, so that is a totally different form, and it has to be addressed. And secondly, ma'am, how do we know that an argument turns into verbal abuse in any kind of relationship? So when do you know it's verbal abuse? When the other person is not listening to you, when the other person is not allowing you to communicate, when the other person belittles you and you're not comfortable to continue the communication. If at any point you feel what that person has said is not right, trust your gut, then it is in verbal abuse. Okay, it's not okay to call somebody a donkey. In communications, we all talk, no? Kalada, yerma madu. If you are not comfortable with that, please communicate. I'm not comfortable with using that word. So that shows that the next time the person will never attempt to use that word with you. That is assertiveness. Okay, so we all have to be assertive by saying no and yes. No to some situations and yes to some situations. That is very important. Okay, ma'am, you said love cannot hurt, but everybody who likes us or loves us at least once, the person who would have hurt us by their behavior and attitude, because of this, we can't say love diminished from the person. Can be normalized, and what not to normalize? Yeah, that's a very excellent question. Now, I'm going to, it is Kuru, okay? Now, we also say love in different forms, right? So I'm going to ask a question to Kuru. Love between a mother and a child. If the child is crying, the mother immediately beats the child and say, I love you. How does the mother show the love to the child? Kuru, I can see you, Kuru. You can answer me that question.
There are a lot of ways, so I cannot precisely answer to this question because, as you asked, what will be the various ways to show the love? So it can be in any form, right?
Would beating be a form, or would scolding be a form when the child is crying?
Can you repeat?
What would the mother do?
She might convince him by giving good food. I cannot answer to this question properly. So can you say this? Because I have this question.
Yeah, that's okay. Thank you so much for this question, Kuru. Yeah, so if a person loves or shows affection, the mother doesn't chide this child. Okay, the mother always hugs the child. And to put it very simply, see, at 10 or 11 months age, the baby starts to walk, right? And when the baby is starting to walk, the baby will fall down. No? It will get hurt. So that time do you think the mother will go and beat the child? Why can't you sit quietly? Why are you trying to walk? Can't you sit quietly? What the mother will say? Oh, you fell down, Adipatrucha. So she will carry the child, hold the two hands, and then continue the child to walk. So if the other person is interested in your growth, if the other person loves you, they will be interested in your growth. They will not look into your mistakes.
Have I answered? Yes, but due to overcare or something like other factors, அவங்க நம்ம மேல வச்சிருக்க ஓவர் ரெஸ்பெக்ட் அண்ட் கேர்னால வந்துட்டு இது அஃபெக்ட் ஆகும்னு நினைக்கிறீங்களா? நம்மள அதை அஃபெக்ட் பண்ணுவோம்ல நம்ம ஆப்வியஸா அவங்களோட ஓவர் கேர்னால. கண்டிப்பா அதுதான் மதரிங்க்கும் ஸ்மாதரிங்க்கும் வித்தியாசம். மதரிங்னா அவங்க நலன் கருதி அவங்கள வளர விடுறது. அப்ப அன்பு செலுத்தும் போது அவங்க தப்பு பண்ணாலும் அதை எந்த நல்வழிப்படுத்தி அவங்கள நல்வழிப்படுத்துறது. ஸ்மாதரிங்னா அவங்கள வளரே விடக்கூடாது. நான் அன்பு செலுத்துறேன்னு சொல்லி அவங்கள வளர விடுறது இல்ல. அதுதான் மதரிங் அண்ட் ஸ்மாதரிங்க்கு வித்தியாசம். அன்பு இருக்கு, பட் அன்பு growth. நீ நல்லா இருக்கணும், நீ வளர்ந்து நல்லா போகணும், அதுதான் அன்பு. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for answering the question. So now I need to call upon a very, very special person who was actually the backbone of the whole campaign to speak a few words. Her personality, energetic and working nature, and overall enthusiasm made us feel we have to learn a lot more from her. So I very lovingly call upon our staff in charge, Professor Deborah Rush, to render a few words. Welcome, ma'am.
Please
ma'am, you are mute, ma'am.
Okay, Elsa, audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, those were big words, Elsa. I don't know whether I deserve that, but then thank you for being polite. I'm here to say thank you to many people here. First and foremost, thank you to Stella Maris, especially Dr. Srinidhi, for accepting my request to address her. And I also thank Niti ma'am from Psychology Department, Madras Christian College, for accepting again my request and making her students join today. Thank you, ma'am, the keynote speaker, Dr. Anita. Thank you so much. Your session was really insightful today with a lot of stories. You were able to give us a lot of I could see a lot of experience in what you were trying to tell us today. I'm sure when people are in this age and when they are experimenting on relationships, and I'm very sure that this would help them out in so many ways. So thank you, ma'am, for that. And I also thank my own department, the head in charge, Dr. Vasuprada, and my team members for constantly encouraging me throughout during this campaign. And I thank my own students, without whom this would not have been possible. I would just tell them a bit and they would do a lot. So that is the caliber of my ever energetic second MA communication, without whom this campaign would not have been possible. Right from the scratch, the idea, the ideation, the execution, everything was done by them solely. So wholeheartedly, I thank them. And I also thank Dr. Sylvia ma'am, because right from the beginning, arranging resource persons to she being a resource person, she was constantly behind all this to make our campaign a huge success. So thank you all. Thank you, Stella Maris. Thank you, Srinidhi ma'am. Thank you everybody for joining in us today. Thank you so much. I request everybody to switch on your videos. We have this tradition of switching on our videos and to take a screenshot. Unfortunately, pandemic has divided us and we are all at our homes. So I would request everybody to switch on your video so that we can have a group photo in the form of screenshots. Jessica?
Yes, ma'am. Guys, please switch on your videos. Come on, Psychology Department and
Stella Maris people, please join us.
The PR Department and Psychology Department. On 3, let's all say cheese. All right? 1, 2, 3. All right. Thank you so much. The screenshot's been taken.
Okay, thank you. So kindly do fill in the feedback forms. If anybody has anything to say to us today regarding the campaign, pros or cons, your criticisms are most, it's welcome always. So if anybody has anything to tell us for our improvisation or to appreciate us, we would really welcome. Please let us know right now. Please give us a feedback if you want to do so now.
Yes, the feedback form is again circulated. You can just click on the link that's on the chat box. So once again, I just wanted to let you know we are having an Instagram handle for 2ACT005 where we are conducting a Reels challenge, which is put a finger down challenge. Okay. Put a finger down when something is asked to you, if you have experienced it. So it's a very small Reels challenge. Just have a look into it and try to be part of us. So moving to the vote of thanks section from our students' side, I request Mr. Sharon Reggie to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Elsa. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I raise up my voice not so I can shout, but so that those without a voice can be heard. With these words of Malala Yousafzai, I take this opportunity to express my gratitude towards each one of you present today. First, I would thank God Almighty for making today's program fruitful. I extend my hearty thanks to the faculties and students of the Department of Public Relations, Stella Maris College, and Department of Psychology, Madras Christian College, for accepting our invitation and to be part of our campaign. Sincere thanks to our speaker, Ms. ANITA MARY, for joining us today and gracing the occasion with her words. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your views and opinions. Sincere thanks to Dr. Vasuprada Srikrishna, HOD in charge, Department of Communication, for her constant support and guidance in coordinating and organizing the campaign. I would like to thank Professor Deborah Raj, staff in charge for public relations, for her valuable support and suggestions from start to finish. Her encouragement and presence throughout has proved to be the pillar for the campaign. Thank you, ma'am, for guiding us to put this campaign into action. Next, I would like to take this opportunity to place on record our thanks to the faculty members of the Department of Communication, Dr. S. ANITA Mary and Mr. Dinesh Kumar T, for their encouragement and valued support. We can't thank enough our department for their support and being the perfect team throughout. For the success of such a program, there lies a combined effort of many. I extend my gratitude to the first and second MA Communication for their involvement and dedicated support for the campaign. I thank the audience who are with us on Meet as well as on YouTube for the presence and engagement for the campaign. Hope you all have a great day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sharon. And once again, thank you, Stella Maris College, the PR department of Stella Maris, and the psychology department of Madras Christian College for joining us today. You were such a vibrant audience, I should say. And keep up the energy and take these key takeaways with you and also spread a word about our campaign in your college. Thank you.
Thank you, Elsa. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Stella Maris. And thank you, Madras Christian College.